Hi, this is Jessica with Jessie Mary & Co. I'm starting to offer a new service, the website evaluations, and this is my first one I'm doing here. So this is Erin Farrell Photography, and she has volunteered to let me use her website to show this to the rest of you. So here, let me get started then. Um, Erin's site, what I like about it right away is when I get here, it's different. I it's not what I'm seeing on every site. It has some custom graphics. So right here we have custom, and it gets right to her work. It's clean. We've got right to her social media. So in many ways, it does work. I know that Erin told me, I had a brief little survey before that she is focusing more on portraits now. So of course that this looks like a lot like weddings. So that will be one of the issues we'll want to talk about. But overall, I get here, it does a lot of what it's supposed to. It has these little tabs off to the side. These were really popular a little bit back in ProPhoto. I'm pretty sure this is a ProPhoto 4 site. I haven't looked that up. And then we have another one here for proofing. So these just get you to somewhere, but the colors are consistent. That part is really good. Um, it does it does look a little on the more dated side. It's not terribly dated. As I said, the minimalism really helps. But I think really it's just these right here that are making me think, oh, this hasn't been updated in a while because people don't tend to be using these anymore. So if we go through, let's see. So right away I noticed that, like I clicked on about, it doesn't go anywhere. I realize it's in the drop down, but somehow it didn't catch my eye. So I would love to see something here that made it catch my eye a little better. So if I click about Erin, now we're getting to this. Love the portrait of her. I like that we have her features here and a little bit about her. I mean, this could stand out a little more. It makes me like, okay, I really have to get in and read it. I would love to see it maybe a little bigger, a little just easier to read. Maybe these are a little more graphic, her likes and dislikes. I mean, this is funny. It makes me laugh what she says, and I love that it gets across Erin's personality here, and that's awesome. So, I mean, overall, what I would improve, I would have a little more here. Just have a little more about Erin. If I'm going to work with her, I want to really get to know her just a little bit more. But I do love these features. I'm torn on if I'd have them on a separate page, though. I mean, a lot of people do put where they're featured on its own page, and considering that Erin is more focusing on portraits now, we might not want to have all of the bride ones, the wedding ones, but it's still great to know that she is featured places. So let's see. We have newsletter. Okay, that's good. It just gives you a mailing list here. I would love to see them sign up for the newsletter in the form of a hello bar or something right on the first page, because a lot of people like the first page is where you have to catch their attention instead of going to a drop down for a newsletter. Reviews. Let's see. Okay, so this takes me off site. That caught me off guard. I think it's great to have off-site reviews because they're a little more legitimate. However, I love on-site reviews. I would suggest just incorporating some of them. She can probably take, I always say most clients, if they put them here, they're public, so there's no reason you can't take a couple, you don't have to put the whole thing, but some of the shorter reviews or a line from the reviews and add them, maybe right under this photo. It has a great little excerpt about Erin and how awesome she was to work with. So, so I guess none of these top ones don't work, but that's fine. So weddings, they go into portfolio. This lineup is a little funky to me. Okay, and this is fine. I see people tending to steer away from having the photos right over anymore and maybe having them down or not having the gallery thumbnails at all, but this works, although it's behaving a little slowly loading them, but that works fine. So let's see, investment. And I do like to have things separated off like this. It's kind of nice because if I was going to one or the other, we could definitely do that. I want a picture here. I know I've went for information. but I can get this via email. You know, I want something pretty, even if it's just one photo, maybe a photo on the left over here to give you a little bit more. And this is great. It tells you what she starts at, a little bit about what that includes, and just some basics. Recent weddings. So again, great. Takes me to the blog post on recent weddings. That's wonderful. Let's go over to portraits, especially since I know this is where Erin's going to be focusing more. Okay. So I just like these displayed a little differently. I wonder if I change my screen size. It's still, I don't know, something about it seems a little off-center to me. Okay, same galleries, and she's consistent, which is great. What I would love is some way to get back. So I'm a mom, okay, now I'm back in newborns, but instead of having to go back to portfolio to see births, maybe there's like a little line underneath. Maybe there under here it says newborns, births, families, so I can click easily instead of having to go back. And again, investment, we've got some photos, yay, but I kind of want some more up here. I just want this text broken up. It's too much text to read all at once. People don't read these days. It's true. People just, it takes a lot to keep people reading, and there's stats about how many words per photo you should have. So, you know, I might have a photo up top, another photo here, something like that. I mean, but there's nothing wrong with that. So, I guess it's going to take me to recent sessions on the blog, probably. Okay, that's fine. Now let's go to the blog itself. Oh, no, that's odd. I find it odd that now we have a slideshow or something going on up top. Yeah, we have a little slideshow going, and it's a little funky. I mean, that's kind of nice how it came in one at a time, but I do like that. I like that it's, oh, here's the baby, here's at home, here's another little girl. It's telling a little story. I guess what I find odd is that the menu has been up here the whole time, and now suddenly the slideshow's up here. So maybe if that was just down below the menu, that would be fine with me. Lots of photos. It's a lot of photos on one page. I might like to see the post abbreviated and then with a read more so that I can see more of her work instead of just like I'm still scrolling. Okay, here's another different session, but I would love to be able to quickly to get to more of her work. I would also, especially now that she's going to be doing more just portraits, I would love to see a submenu here. You know, getting me right to families or births or whatever it is, and make it really, really easy for me to get to here, kind of like she did on the portfolio page or the info page, but making it easy right here on the blog. Okay, so this is a ProPhoto drop-down form. I hate these, but they are how ProPhoto used to work. ProPhoto 6 does not do this anymore with this whole flash. I don't know if you saw that. Let me go back again. Like, okay, now we're waiting and now it loads it there. I don't know, maybe it's just a personal thing, but it drives me nuts. I'd rather come to a full contact page. But as far as the form goes, I do like that we've got some more info here. We've got contact. I like to add a little picture. I love to know who I'm about to send the email to, so I like a picture of you there. I just find it's one more personal touch. I sometimes recommend having a little testimonial here from a client. This is the page where they are deciding. Even though people have already got here, they haven't decided yet. So you might need that little cell here to get them to click submit. So my name is, you can call me. I like this instead of just email, you can call me at. That's a nice touch. The different types, where you are. So that's fine. That works great. So the next thing I'm going to see is I'm going to go over to Google over here. And we're going to test and see if it's mobile responsive. This page, it's a mobile test friendly. You just enter your URL and it will tell you. Oh, I should have done just the home page. So as it's waiting, what this is going to tell me is if it passes Google's mobile friendly tests or not. That means will it get penalized for not being a responsive site, or does it have enough mobile friendly features that it's okay with Google? It doesn't mean it looks good, it doesn't mean anything like that, it just means does it pass the computer test, yes or no. So it's almost done. So this is not mobile friendly. I want to go and go back to the home page. So that's where I should have tested. Okay, while that's running, we're going to go over here and I'm going to go into my design responsive mode. So this is a feature, Safari. It will show what it looks on different sites. We can see, okay, it looks pretty good on an iPad. How does it look on the iPhone? This is a problem. So on the iPhone, it's having a bit of a problem. Let's see if it looks better that way. Turn it this way. See, it's still kind of funky on the iPhone. Yeah, it's really, really hard to navigate on here. Go back to Erin. Okay, now it brought up actually the mobile friendly site that it did not before. So now that it did, we get. So, I mean, it doesn't look great, but it looks like I can get around now that it brought up this site. I don't know why it hesitated to bring up this site. Okay, let's see how the test is going over here. Okay, the page is mobile friendly. So again, it doesn't look great. It's not responsive, and I have an article on my blog about the difference between responsive and mobile friendly, but it is mobile friendly and it does pass the test. If Erin was to upgrade to the new Pro Photo, then it would be actually responsive to look good on all devices. I need to reload my page here because it's showing the mobile page. So from an SEO perspective, I mean there's not a lot of info on the home page, so that's probably not, so that's not, I always want to see something here on the home page. It doesn't have to be a lot. I'm not talking about, stuffing lots of keywords, but to have a paragraph or two is great. And you can still keep it clean. It doesn't need to be one of these new long sites. It doesn't need to have your blog. But just to have a little bit of text on the homepage is great. And I'd have to see the back end, like if things are all tagged and how things look with that. But overall, from what I'm seeing, that looks fine. And she's blogging fairly regularly. It's been since January, but I think overall these blog posts were coming fairly regularly, which just had to help with SEO as well. And she has pages. She's been around a while. So overall, the site, I mean, it looks good. It's clean. I can see her photography, and I would definitely book her based on these gorgeous images. But it could definitely be improved. I would suggest, upgrading to something that's responsive so it looks great on all your platforms. I would suggest, um, keeping the same style. I don't mind this. I mean, I think this is cute. And maybe it might be a little too cute, but I don't think so because she's a family photographer, so cute is good. I love the touches of green and yellow. I love that it's bright, it's crisp, it's clear, it goes along with the work. So I'd really say it's just a matter of making it, into a responsive platform where it's going to look good on phones, since most of the time 50% of people are on phones these days or more. And then those little things that I mentioned earlier, this bugs me that these couple don't click on top. Newsletter, I'd love to see on the homepage. I'd love to see reviews scattered about. If we're going to change over to just having portraits, we get rid of weddings, which might mean having to redo this whole thing. But you could also instead maybe put portraits here and then put information here so that we still have the same amount of menu items and the graphic can stay the same. And then we'd have less drop downs as well, which I think would be great, and can even eliminate recent sessions. And then under blog, we'll have that submenu going. And this, like I said, I like the slideshow. It just doesn't feel like the right place for it for me. Because this, out of instinct, going to the site, I want to click here. And now suddenly I have to go down here to click, which just drives me a little crazy. You could have featured, instead of having these, maybe, we add these to a different page of the site. And then, I find them a little hard to navigate. And then proofing, you can just have something that says clients to get to those proofing sites. But overall, yeah. So I think that's it overall. If you have questions, Erin, please let me know. And thanks so much for lending your website to me for this.